Okay, so these are wet weather tips. We've had the monsoons for the past 3 weeks, and I bet we've had 20 inches of rain even up here, and you know there's a lot of flooding and everything, and it affects horses' feet directly. You know, I feel like horses' feet are porous, so they're kind of like a sponge. They contract in the summer when they're hard, and then they expand when we get all this rain. So you get a lot of things going on. The bottom of a foot's kind of a bacterial petri dish, if you will. So a lot of that is hoof health and husbandry. I think, you know, not everybody has a dry stall, and I don't think everybody needs a dry stall, but they do need to kind of get somewhere where they're just not in sloppy mud for days and days and days at a time, because they're going to get, hooves are going to deteriorate. I tell my clients that healthy feet are built from the inside. It's what you put in their mouth. You know, good feed, good hay. You know, just taking good care of your horse will go a long way with their feet. And I always tell people, especially when we get into winter months, I can tell who's feeding and taking care of their horses and who's not by how their feet look. So in the wintertime, you know, what I kind of try to do to our own horses, and we're fortunate, you know, we're kind of blessed to have stalls, but what I look at when I'm working on horses is, you know, we try to keep their feet picked. We probably don't do it as much as we should, but then again, who does? You know, a lot of times in the winter, when you're looking at a foot, a little thrush is normal. You know, I tell people, oh, if you've got some black into the commissures of these frogs, it's really not that big of a deal. You know, the horses are just going to have it this time of year. But what I start noticing is deterioration of frogs. These frogs will get really, really soft, and you know, if you scratch his, I mean, you can tell it's still pretty tough, but he's been in the dry, and those things just get spongy, and I mean, a hoof knife will just go through them like butter. I use different things depending on what it is. A lot of that mastitis cream will clear up a succulus. You know, I use a lot of Durasol into the commissures of that frog, just to keep that bacteria out. You know, thrush is an anaerobic bacteria, meaning that it thrives off of no air. So the best cure for thrush is air. So the cleaner you keep these feet, the drier you keep these feet, the less likely you are to have those things. So, you know, if you're really battling deep succulus thrush, or you're battling really bad thrush around this frog, you know, when you get thrush in this area, I don't worry about it too much unless it's really deep when I go to knifing it out. But the best thing you can do is clean their feet out every day. You know, put some kind of topical on them. Like I said, that's Durasol. Thrush Buster does real well. There's Jim Rickens. I mean, there's just a whole, you know, and even bleach and water does wonders for that kind of stuff. But good nutrition, you know, good maintenance in between farrier trips is going to keep your horses healthy and hopefully keep them sound through all this wet weather.